Hi everyone, this is Rick with the Tractor Channel, and today I'm going to be showing you how to change the Allison automatic transmission filter. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy, I'm just trying to show you. It's actually that red filter you see in the video, and it's on the driver's side near the back of the wheel well. At the Tractor Channel, we offer all kinds of resources for our viewers, not just about tractors, but about all kinds of things: trucks, trailers, ATVs, accessories, and equipment that you might need during your daily life. So here's a picture of everything that I needed to change the filter on an Allison automatic transmission filter. I put a tarp down on the ground. I got a pan for collecting oil. I got the oil filter. I got an oil filter wrench. Any oil filter wrench will work for this. You might even be able to do it with just your hands. A roll of paper towels, and of course some automatic transmission fluid to refill the system after we get done changing the filter. Only other thing I could think you could use on this would maybe be some gloves and some wet wipes if you want to clean up the oil. I did forget to mention that you are also going to need a funnel to do this job. And I'm actually showing you a little tip right here, and that's the actual funnel that I used. But what I'm doing is I'm shoving that shop rag through the funnel because you always get dust in your funnel. It's not a bad idea after you use a funnel to store them in a plastic bag so they don't fill up with dust. But all I'm doing here is I'm just running that shop rag through there to remove all the dust in that funnel. Here's a picture of the transmission filter that I used. Of course, it's an Allison. It's part number 29539579, and the truck I was doing the job on was a later 2015 2500 Duramax with the 6.6 and the Allison transmission. Now these filters are relatively cheap, about $15 for the ones without the magnet, and you can get ones with the new magnet also. I always just wipe off the magnets and reuse the magnet, but if you want to get one with a new magnet, you can order it that way. But for $15, it can actually make your transmission last a lot longer, so I think it's a really good idea to change the filter. I would change it every time I change the diesel fuel filter or every other oil change, depending, of course, how you're using the truck. If you're just driving it to work on flat ground and you're not pulling a trailer and you're not working the truck very hard, you can get away with a little longer intervals. But to be safe, and these transmissions are very expensive to fix, I would just go ahead and change it, and then you're not going to have to worry about it. So personally, I would change the filter every other time you change your oil, and I would change the filter every time you change your fuel filter also. You know, I always try to add tips to my videos that make things a little easier for our viewers. And this might sound kind of stupid, but if you notice in the picture, that mirror is folded in. And the reason the mirror is folded in because you will bang your head on it every time you get up, and it can really hurt. You're working right there pretty much under the mirror, so when you climb under the truck, just get it out of the way. It'll help a lot. And the reason I'm doing this one on the ground like this with a tarp is that there's actually a trailer hooked to it. So just easier and kind of lazy. Easier to just do it out there in the dirt rather than unhook the trailer. Okay, so here I am loosening the filter. Like I said, you can use, it's out in the open, which makes it nice. You can use like any type of oil wrench to get that filter off there, oil filter wrench. And as you take the filter down, I usually put a little pan or something under there because you're going to leak a little bit of oil. And there also is a magnet that's either going to come out on the filter or stay up in the transmission housing. So when you pull it off there, for sure, always make sure the old gasket came off with the filter. You never want to double gasket anything. And then you want to take that magnet. Now, usually the magnet will come off with the filter. You just pop it loose from your old filter and wipe it off really good. And look at it. Make sure there's no metal fragments on there. That's a very bad sign that you're going to have some pretty costly transmission issues in the near future. So make sure and put that magnet back on there. And then I don't usually fill these up. I usually just put them back in dry. Now I'm actually going to remove the magnet because it didn't come off with the filter. So I'm actually just going to take a extension just something I can get in there because it's actually magnetic, of course, and it sticks pretty good. You can take your pocket knife and get it out of there easily, or a screwdriver or something. And I'm just going to take that extension, use the edge of it to pop it down. And then I'm just going to take it down and wipe it off and put it back in there. Always make sure and put it back in there. Okay, and here I'm showing you what the magnet looks like. Okay, so this is our automatic transmission fluid dipstick. This is where you check your fluid levels. And in case you're new to this type of work, that's also where you fill it from. You just put a funnel down there and you fill it. Now, on the GM and Chevrolet models, the best way to check it is with the engine running and the transmission in park. Ford the same way. The only difference between all of them actually is when you do the Dodge. Dodge recommends that you put it in neutral to check their automatic transmission fluid level. And obviously, if you got to put something in neutral, make sure you have the brakes on. Here I'm just showing you on the dipstick the fill marks that are kind of engraved in there, and you can actually tell where the oil should be, the full level. Also, I'm showing you that if you read most of these dipsticks, if you look up the top of them a little farther, they actually tell you the correct procedure for checking the fluid level. And once I get the system full, then I also like to check the transmission fluid level maybe a couple days afterwards, the next day and the next day after that, just to make sure that you're working any air through it or anything like that, so you make sure it's full. Okay, so this is our last tip. Always look in the engine compartment to make sure you didn't leave a ratchet or a rag or a socket before you shut the hood, because if you shut the hood on anything, it's going to bend the hood. So always make sure you removed everything and the area is clean before you shut the hood. Okay, so this completes our video on how to change your transmission filter in a GM or Chevy pickup truck. And like I said, the Dodge and the Ford are all the same. So keep an eye on it, guys. Keep these things changed. You'll make your transmissions last longer. Thank you, and I really appreciate you watching the Tractor Channel videos. If your company would like to sponsor or do business with the Tractor Channel or its viewers, please send an email to info@thetractorchannel.com.